Can artificial intelligence start a war? It caused dangerous tremors last night. Have you seen this picture? It surfaced on the internet last night. The picture shows a huge plume of black smoke, and in the background is what looks like the Pentagon, the seat of US defense. The last time this building came under attack was 9/11. The iconic Twin Towers were destroyed by terrorists. America invaded Afghanistan. So was panic going to repeat itself? Bloomberg feed, by the way, shared this picture. The tweet read, "Large explosion near the Pentagon complex in Washington, D.C. Initial report." And within 4 minutes, the Dow Jones Industrial Index dropped 85 points. The market was reacting to an attack on America and bracing for the impact for America's response, because there was no way the White House was going to sit still following an attack on the Pentagon. Was a war on the horizon? Media houses around the world were quick to pick up the news. The Russian state news agencies put out this tweet. Over 100 people retweeted it within minutes. In India as well, news outlets wasted no time in breaking the news. Word spread like wildfire, and it was accompanied by the fear of the unknown. And there were multiple questions. Who had attacked America? How many people had been injured? Were there deaths? And will more attacks follow? The fire department of Arlington County soon put out a tweet. It said the department is aware of the report circulating online, but there is no explosion or incident taking place at or near the Pentagon reservation. A Pentagon spokesperson also confirmed that the report was fake. The Pentagon was not attacked today, quote unquote, is what the spokesperson said. So what really was this picture all about then? Nothing more than what appears to be a product of AI, artificial intelligence. And turns out the verified account that shared the picture had nothing to do with Bloomberg News either. It was also fake. But how were you supposed to know that? Twitter responded by suspending that fake account. Too little, too late, is it? But that's not where the story ends. It's the start of the big question that we are asking tonight. Can artificial intelligence start a war? I know what some of you may be thinking. The people on top will do due diligence before sounding the war bugle and responding to such reports, won't they? Sure, in theory, they should. But you see, in reality, there is very little, very little time. Every second, every microsecond is extremely precious during a crisis that could go nuclear. And those on the front lines of missile wars have minimal reaction time. The consequences of delay might be too horrific to contemplate. Else you risk being struck by a missile if you don't activate your anti-missile system fast enough. And that is how our top defense officials are trained. Scanning a photo for discrepancies or waiting for a fact checker to look at the photo or video is not a part of war protocol, which is where AI becomes an extremely dangerous weapon. And it's not always that you have a fire department or a person stepping in to avert a disaster or World War III. Let me tell you a story, a real story from 1983. On the 25th of September, a computer system alerted Soviet defense forces that America had launched a single intercontinental ballistic missile and that the missile would strike Russia in 12 minutes. And soon the computer flashed a second warning. 5 nuclear missiles were on the way towards Soviet Union. And how exactly did the computer know this? Well, its reading was based on the data from the Soviet Union's launch detection satellites. The computer system claimed that chances of an attack or a nuclear attack was 100%. Now, this was a Cold War era, mind you. Tensions were high, suspicion even higher. And here you had satellite readings telling you that America had launched a nuclear weapon. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov was in the secret bunker where the computer flashed the warning, and he was convinced the system had a bug. So the first time when it warned about the ICBM, Petrov phoned his superiors and told them that it was a false alarm. And the next time when the nuclear warning was flashed, Petrov should ideally have informed the superiors, who would then ensure that Moscow also pressed the nuclear button and started what would invariably be the countdown to a nuclear holocaust and what cockroaches would remember as World War III. Instead, Petrov chose to do nothing. And he took a huge risk, by the way, and saved millions of lives. But what really is the guarantee that you will have a Petrov in every high office telling his or her superiors that what the computer is flashing is a fake photo, or what a verified Twitter handle is saying or putting out is nothing but an AI-generated fake image? And the answer is there is no guarantee. What we have instead is a rising risk of AI triggering something unintended. You see, the times we are living in many ways, are not too different from the Cold War situation. Tensions between the West and Russia are running at an all-time high, with the West being just a stray bullet strike away from being completely pulled into the war. What if artificial intelligence stages that stray strike, numbs our sixth sense and forces commanders to declare war? Or what happens if tomorrow a fake photo claims an attack on Ukraine's seat or the presidential palace? Will this trigger panic? Of course it will. But what it will also likely and very likely do is trigger a chain of events that will snowball into a catastrophe. Because let's face it, it was the Pentagon, the Arlington County was able to quickly run a ground check and stop the rumor mill. Think of claims of an airstrike on a remote part of America or some remote country, some remote countryside in Europe. How exactly will one immediately run a fact check is the immediate question. Which information will the armed forces trust at that point in time? After all, Twitter verification is up for sale, can be bought for just a few dollars. Media houses are in the business of breaking news first and fact-checking later. A verified Twitter page that shared the AI-generated photo of the Pentagon blast, the supposed Pentagon blast, apologized, saying that the incident was an example of how, quote-unquote, easily these sort of images can be used to manipulate the information space and how dangerous this could be in the future. And it's right. Except that the future is already here. The risk of an AI-generated war is here. And you and I need to be really, really worried. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.